This is your hot sheets for this week. 33 homes have closed so far in May against 55 last year. We're at a $2.1 million median price point so far in May. This thing's real, and it's still getting better. Hey, and just a little bit of context for you. I'm in Orlando for a week hanging out. I'm here at a Starbucks, just working. And this is the way we're doing the podcast this week. So in addition to talking about where we are, Orlando, Florida, and I'll be here for about a week. Kind of like the market on 30A, I'm doing the 63-year, well, if you might call it, check engine light or maintenance, like you might do on a car. I'm having everything looked at, make sure everything's running right, because if it is, and things continue to go well, I'm looking forward to the next however many years I can get out of this thing. Building sandcastles on the beach with my grandbabies. And even my old son, who's 33 now. I'm staying here in downtown at this EO Inn. It's pretty cool. I'm going to walk to eat downtown Orlando. I used to live here back in the very, very early 90s for a couple of years. I don't really know my way around anymore because that's been 35 years ago. Are you kidding me? Now that you know where I am, let's talk about again, where are we going? 93 homes are going to close in May at the minimum this month versus 55 last year. I've been saying this. I went back and looked at some of my private old market updates. I may make the whole thing public again because I listened to every single one of them, crazy as I am, going back a long way, crazy as I am. Pretty accurate. Yeah, I said a few things that didn't quite pan out, but directionally, on the money. And I started talking about COVID being absolutely ridiculous when it was happening. I didn't say prices would come down, but the volume was unsustainable for sure. And now we're at the sustainable volume, which is extremely impressive. 93 homes in May versus 55. That's impressive, and that's going to work. And that tells me, and continues to tell me, there is nothing wrong with this market. If you're expecting to get great deals going into the future and to be able to submit very low offers and get them accepted as a general rule, we're very plain spoken as a real estate team. We tell it like it is. So I guess the last thing that we have to know now is, where are we going in June? And right now, in June, as I'm looking at my screen right now, we have 30 homes set to close in June. That's not bad, but let's see how many we did the year before. And so in the month of June, as I said, with 30 under contract to close in June, so that means about 34 or 35 are already under contract and not yet in the MLS, we're looking more like, well, 34 or 5 against what was 66 last year. Still running a median price point that is hovering in that 1.9 million for the year so far. That's up 8.6% versus last year in the aggregate. Well, people, I just can say it's a good market. There's nothing wrong with 30A as a market. Every market's local. From the peak, I can show anybody in the aggregate cost the 30A vacation market, we lost about 15% of the price increase that occurred because of COVID. We've been flat since to slightly, I'm going to say it, to slightly up now. Flat to slightly up is the trend, not flat to slightly down. And that's important for people who want to experience life in a great home here. There remains a differentiation between a great home, a good home, and a not so good home. And in any market, Watercolor, Seaside, Rosemary, in between those markets, Watersound, if your home's not right for the market, they are going to reject it, and you're going to have to price reduce. If you're a buyer and the market's rejecting a home and you can see your way to getting it back to where it needs to be, those are the homes you can get relatively decent pricing on. But if it's a good home, if it's a great home, and it's priced right, they're selling pretty quickly. 93 homes in May. is where we're going against 55. That's almost up 100% in volume. We're at 30 homes right now versus 66 in June. That's beginning to feel like we might just be flat with June of last year. Give me a call if you want to know more. If you have a specific market you want to dissect, we can do that too. And next week on the Hot Sheets, we're going to dive into a market real deep, Rosemary Beach, and see how it's doing.